transversus abdominis vacuum, or TVA vacuum exercise. This is one of my favorite exercises to do for several reasons. One, it's essential to get your posture correct the way that it needs to be. With the proper engagement of your transversus abdominis, it will place the pelvis in a position to make your lumbar curve exactly what it needs to be. Now, we're going to work on some other stretches in other videos to make sure that the quadriceps and the hamstrings and the hip flexors are all loose enough to allow that pelvis to move into its optimal position. But it's primarily the engagement of this muscle that's going to place that where it needs to be. This muscle, transversus abdominis, it moves transversely around the abdomen, and it is a giant sheath of muscle. They call it the corset muscle because it acts like a corset. It's a ring all the way around you, and it pulls in and it lifts up on everything above the lumbar spine. This is the only stabilizer and support system for your lumbar spine. So if you want to take some pressure off of your low back, this is the muscle that you need to engage. For people with low back pain, this is the best thing I've found to help them get out of pain next to chiropractic adjustments. So if you're a low back pain sufferer, this is going to be your new best friend. We're going to move through this in a series of versions. We're going to start on our backs though. So I'm going to lay down here and really give you a sense of what this movement looks like. As I breathe in, the belly rises. As I breathe out, the belly falls. So as your belly falls, when there's no more air in you, I want to think about pulling this belly straight down to my spine, just like so. Now, as I compress through the abdomen, I want to feel like I'm getting this ring all the way around. That's how you're going to know that you're engaging the transversus abdominis. You might even feel it down here towards your groins. That's the one that'll get it. So I want you for the first week or so to just lay down and do this 5 times where you just pull in, feel the engagement, then let it go and take a couple of breaths. But then you're going to start holding those contractions. So you need to learn how to take a different kind of breath. As I hold this in, I can't take a full breath because my diaphragm can't lower. So learn to take these very shallow, I call them little sips of air. It's not the way I want you breathing in any other part of your life except for this exercise. But you're going to do that because you're going to hold these contractions for 15 seconds. So after your first week of just contracting for 5 rounds, twice a day, then I want you to start holding for 15 seconds, 5 rounds, twice a day. When that becomes easy, you're going to extend those holds to 30 seconds. When that becomes easy, 45 seconds. And when that becomes easy, 1 minute holds. When you're able to do 5 1-minute holds twice a day with no problem here, now we're going to add some resistance. So what you're going to do is flip over into all 4s. So what I'm going to do here, same thing, keep my back nice and straight. This is not about a movement of the pelvis. Keep that nice and still. I breathe in, I breathe out, I pull in, and I keep my spine nice and long. I go back to 15-second holds, and then I build up to 30, and then 45, and then 60. When I can do all 4s, it's 5 60-second holds twice a day. Then I'm going to come to seated. This is the most difficult version of this because now the spine is being held erect. There are a lot of stabilization muscles here. Neurologically, it's much more complicated. Same thing though. "15-second holds, work up to 30, work up to 45, work up to 60. Now the whole goal of this is at the end of seated, when you can hold 5 1-minute holds in a seated position, you ought to be able to have a slight functional contraction of this muscle all day long. Whatever you're doing, whether you're sitting at your office, driving your car, laying in bed, watching TV, reading a book, at your computer, I don't care what you're doing, but especially if you're doing yoga or lifting weights or something very physical, this muscle is what really forms a stability in your core to protect your lumbar spine. So have this on whatever it is that you're doing, unless you're sleeping. In a small way. But this progression will help you get the strength that you need to get there.